guys, welcome back. Today I'm joined by two dear friends, the Greens. We're here with the Greens.
Oh, yeah. There we are.
James Green,
Duo.
Tim Green.
Hello.
Good afternoon, chaps.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. Thanks for tuning in, guys, as always. We've got a really interesting one today. It's about pocket watches. Don't turn off. Please do not turn off. I know what you're about to do. No, don't do that. We are pocket watch lovers, some more so than others, and we're here to talk about the utility of them. We're going to talk about the brands behind them, the designs of them, some of the most beautiful objects ever made in all of horology, all of hot horology. Would it be hot horology? Would you consider them hot horology?
Some of them.
I don't think so. Yes,
Some
are.
Some of them
I don't think my ones are.
No.
So we've all brought some to the table, right? We've got you'll see a little flat lay shot of what we've got here. I've only bought the one, but Tim, you've bought, how many have you got? You've got,
Well, I've got one proper one and two sort of halves.
and what, one in a journey. One's in the journey to be a pocket watch.
Yeah.
Actually, that's fair. Let's start there. You know, we've seen people, I mean, in the limelight, you know, every so often when there's an award ceremony or something like that, or a Super Bowl, or you see someone wearing a pocket watch around their neck.
Yeah.
You see, you don't actually see many people wearing them in a traditional sense, out of a lapel into a pocket or into.
Well, I think part of the reason for that is the wearability of a pocket watch is so difficult these days because we're not wearing three-piece suits, whereas you would traditionally put it on your waistcoat and into your pocket, through a buttonhole, and these days, like, we just don't dress like that. I wear suits quite often, but I don't wear a waistcoat underneath. So I've been trying to think of ways of wearing these things because I really like the idea of having something that's a bit more, I don't know, it's a bit more characterful than a wristwatch. Not that I'm lacking any character.
You need all the help you can get, sir. One of my uncle basically used to wear it through his lapel. So the top of the buttonhole of the lapel through a bar, through what do you call it?
The metal, isn't it?
No, the actual. You don't have any in your James, but the long chaves with the tab on the end. So through the top here, and he just had it in the top pocket.
Yes.
Can you do that? And I think that's quite nice because that's just for you.
As a visual.
As a visual, aesthetically, it looks really nice.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit naff, personally, to have it sort of out of a waistcoat.
Well,
Yeah, personally.
So what I tend to do, because I've worn mine a bit, I tend to put mine on a belt loop on my trouser and then have it sitting in my pocket.
Okay.
And then you've got a little loop around your sort of top of your thigh. And that kind of works because it's right, as long as the cable's long enough, the whatever you chain or whatever, as long as that's long enough and you can bring it up all the time.
It's called a fob. It's called a fob. Yeah, it's called a fob.
As long as you can put it at a reasonable height to read the time, then it's quite usable. And so that's what I do with this. This is my first pocket watch into the sort of I guess a gateway drug. I think it is. Really, it's a 1930s JLC sector dial. It looks quite small, but it's actually a sort of disco volant with leather covering the outer edge of it. This is original leather from the 30s, and it's really hard wearing, and it's really kind of tactile. And I just put a woven leather strap on it, and it kind of goes. I think it's kind of cool.
Is it a faux pas to wear a wristwatch and to be carrying a pocket watch? Do you think, James, in any shape?
No way.
Is that as faux pas as double wristing? Do you think?
I think it's less. It's
Really?
more subtle.
So you would wear, because you wore you were just saying actually you wore your pocket
I wore the
your
pocket
pockets
watch
to watch
yeah,
the
to Watches and Wonders, yeah. And that got more appreciation than the watch.
Really? And you were wearing a watch as well.
Wearing a watch
presumably.
as well? Yeah, not two, just the one.
Okay. Tell us where your love of it comes from, because you are deep and you've got a problem, sir.
I have a problem. There are way too many pocket watches on the
Got
table.
many more pockets than you do wristwatches.
I think that
None of them have chains on them.
none of them have chains on them. There are chains.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
We'll call them fobs.
Fobs. We might be caught up on that for the
really?
comments,
Okay,
but
no
I'm
problem.
pretty sure they're fobs.
We'll call them fobs.
And we need to come to what you're wearing, boys, as well on the wrist, because we haven't done that yet. Sorry, before we dive into the pocket stuff.
Down to the pocket watches. We're going to start with that now.
No, go on. Tell us what you got on this, because people will be looking at that thinking, "What on earth is this man doing here with this?"
So this, Tim thought it was a Movado, which is rightly so, but this is part of the Oman era when IWC decided to start putting jewels on and diamonds on some of the watches. It's an onyx dial. It's got malachite around the edges and the onyx crown.
Can't have been manufactured by IWC.
It was IWC manufactured, yeah.
Because you see them by Movado, don't you?
Yeah.
And they're identical.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you're saying the Movados were created by the IWC?
I've no idea which ones came first,
Yeah.
but it was very much Sultan of Oman. Hannes Pantley actually went out there and they started doing some deals. They wanted diamonds, they wanted colours. You can get it with coral red, black onyx. So there's a whole collection out there.
And it kept the business alive.
It did.
That period of time,
Absolutely.
Mr. Pantley's
Yeah,
journeys
like
out there
see.
kept them alive. Why has it not got a Kanjar on it?
I don't know. Most of them didn't. I think it came later. later years, they decided that they actually wanted to put it on there. But
Nothing on the case back.
nothing on the case back. No, just completely fresh.
And this is a step change because you've had this for a few years now, but aesthetically, this for you, because those of you who've been following the channel for many years will remember, James, from an early 2-watch collection that we did. This is a step change for you. It's so exciting to see this part of the remit now, but this is a bit of a bold step forward into something fresh.
When I suppose Tim was asking earlier why IWC, and I haven't really deviated apart from a couple of Movados, but I think when you focus on one, and for me there's just so much choice.
Yeah.
You can just completely uncover so much more from a single brand, and then it may take longer to actually find the one that you want, but when you do, you're kind of like you've discovered something completely new that the brand would never have thought to have done. And that's why I kind of just try and keep my focus into one.
Back then, made in very small numbers, right?
Quite small numbers, and that's why a lot of the dials are actually cracked, or they're just not in original condition. So when you do find them, it's kind of got to jump on it quick.
Nice.
Tim, what have you got on there?
Well, I've got a new to me Piaget dual time, which is a double mechanical. It's none of that quartz stuff. And I really like it. I'm wearing it because I'm traveling this week. So I like the idea of having a different time zone, home time, travel zone. And it's kind of cool. It's funny because now that I've been wearing it for about 24 hours, I'm starting to realize that the two independent movements aren't necessarily calibrated to the same amount. So one side's going a little bit faster than the other.
Are you in resonance?
It's not.
Are you in resonance?
I was hoping that I might have found a cheap way of getting into resonant watches, but this is not working that way. So one's going like this, the other's sort of.
Weirdly,
I think it's cool.
I don't know if I never told you this, but and I've only just seen this as of today, but I had a watch very similar to this.
Yeah.
But it was an Asprey signed dial made by Piaget.
Wow.
So it didn't have Piaget on it. I can't remember what the hell happened to it. I think it was an eBay pickup that then went back on eBay.
Wow.
Yeah, years and years ago.
Well,
But look at that. The case is beautiful. The
Yeah.
crispness of that yellow.
Important.
A bit of oxidization going on as well.
Yeah.
I was also going to go straight under the car.
And it's super sharp. I don't know. It's not for everyone, but it's for me. I like it.
Oh, look at that. Look at them. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
the whole watch
gorgeous.
is
Wow.
crisp.
Wow.
Sort of thing.
So you've been on a journey of sizing and evolution.
You've reached the limit.
We've got the Goldzarello on today, which is 36, but it doesn't wear like that. I think wears a fair bit bigger, actually.
It does.
Oh yeah. Watches.
You know, Tim literally made this happen. This was a watch I saw at an event many years ago on the wrist of a guest, and positioned the idea one day he might sell it to me, and then he got in touch at the very worst time to say it's available. And I literally purchased something that was
multiple.
And I was in hell. So Tim stepped in and helped me. Thank you, sir. And we've just had it serviced by Subdial. Fantastic service. I'm loving this. I'm sort of feeling like this is my equivalent of you, where we are right
Your
now.
expression zone.
My expression zone, right? That's where I'm feeling my happiest at the moment. Yeah. So back to the pockets though, Joe. Back to the pockets. What is it that you love about these things? Because they have become such a big feature of your collecting.
They have, and I don't really know why, other than the fact that they're just absolutely beautiful, and some of the dials and the conditions and the expression of the designers that they could actually get in, I suppose, a much larger dial just blow me away. They are pieces of art.
We travelled to Zurich together, and you bought one of them, or did it?
Two at the time.
Two of them. Yeah. What did we get?
It's one of these moments where you're hunting for years, and then you get two at once. But this was the first one we found.
It's so good.
Literally at the bottom of a drawer. There were about, I don't know, must have been about 100 watches in there, and it was just. He was haggling over a Porsche design.
Do we know the name? I bought a Porsche design. I bought a.
You did buy a Porsche design.
I bought
a compass.
A compass, full set compass.
And there's me.
On the credit card.
On the drawers.
Not knowing whether it's going to go through or not. I remember the fear and anxiety, and it went through. But
The compass watch that.
yeah, it's open. Yeah, 38 mil. Yeah.
So he was out back trying to negotiate that, and I was just in the drawers with bubble wrap everywhere. And then this came out, and it was that moment of just, how'd you keep calm? How'd you keep cool?
I asked what you paid for it.
That one was, I think, close to 2 at the time.
You're a son of it.
I know.
Yeah.
And the stepped case, the salmon dial, the applied indices and numbers, and the Art Deco bow on the top, which I think is something that I pay a lot of attention to. With the, I suppose a lot of pocket watches have just this nice curved bow, which is quite classic, and the smooth case back, whereas the more sharper angle ones where IWC seem to do quite a lot of different dial configurations. So there's, again, just a clean, completely silver dial. but again, the same case. So for me, it was then trying to see if I could find different dials in the same case design.
Presumably that's the Portuguese sort of origins as well, aesthetics.
Yeah,
Right, the
so-
dial layout.
Where are these from?
They're from the 40s, so they are around the Portuguese era.
Yeah.
Exactly that. So, and again, this was the other one
The other one that we
that you spotted.
that was from a
I
different shop.
Yeah,
Shop in
and
Zurich.
I nearly left. I was walking out saying there's nothing here, and you'd spot something on a stand, and you was like, get back in here.
That's my favourite hobby is finding stuff for others to buy to make me feel better about myself.
Yeah. And there was the one time I've ever had over Justin where he whispered saying, if you don't get this, I will. So I was like,
I'm gonna get
I
it.
can't not get it.
Same sort of price, or was that a bit less?
Yeah, I think it was just a bit less.
Just a bit less. I think it was late, sort of maybe 1800 or something
Yeah.
like that.
The hands on that are just screaming
Yeah.
Vianney Halter to me.
And when you
Steampunk.
catch it in the light and it's got the blue.
Yeah. It's kind of the aesthetic I was hoping to get with my little sector.
Which is it's very similar.
Similar, right?
Very similar.
But, well,
Does
not as
IWC
good.
records of these? Like, presumably you've spoken to David about this at IWC David.
Yeah, they would do.
They
Yeah,
do.
they've definitely. He's shown me a few archives of who they were sold to originally, just to confirm the movements in them as well. That one's actually got a full gold movement in the back of it, which was a surprise.
Oh,
a lot of them.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So when you open the
When did
back
you
of
open
it,
it?
it was
Because you got home and didn't open the case back straight away.
not straight away, but then yeah, knife came out the drawer and just thought, why
butter
not?
knife, the old
Yeah.
Goldberger butter knife.
Exactly.
Clean it, try
yeah.
On the Brunello Cucinelli corduroys.
And then probably scrape the back at some point as well.
Bloody hell. And presumably numbers-wise, we're not talking big numbers on the production volume side of things.
I've absolutely no idea, but I wouldn't have thought so. I wouldn't have thought so.
How often do you wear them?
Very little. It's one of these moments where you go back to your collection and you think, how many have I got and what if I bought another one? But again, when you see, again, it's down to the photos, I think. I was like, our friend Tim, if just you see a photo and you just instantly fall in love with it. You don't know what. I think this one was purely the indice at the 2, 3, etc. And I think I spoke to Yas straight away and he sent me, he's like, you can't not get it. Like you just have to, and it was kind of making it work. But wearing them on occasions, it's getting them out when you can, and it's nice that people appreciate them.
You know, people talk about watches being art forms, and there's a debate whether that's fair or not. You look at some of the independents, but these are serially produced things now.
Yeah.
But this is actually, hearing you speak now, James, I'm trying to get my head around it as we're going through this live. But I really think this is an expression, this is an art form that's living in your world, that you get time with, that you appreciate. Okay, it happens to tell the time, but that's sort of entirely irrelevant because it's about the design, it's about the detail, it's about the artisanal, qualities of this that is even deeper than a wristwatch, I think, because you're just not seeing another one of these. I mean, are you going to find another one of these?
You might do. Well, I found this one, and then that one came about 6 months later. And it always goes back to the question of, if I had that on a dial and a watch, you're talking crazy amounts, which I wouldn't be able to afford. So it's kind of a way of being able to have that art form and appreciate it in just a different way. And for me, it's the equivalent of putting up a piece of art on a wall, but it's also then trying to find a way of displaying them. I've always had that issue, like of just how to even bring these here was a topic of discussion.
The markers on these, by the way, are absolutely insane. Now I'm looking at it, you can see the sort of three-dimensionality of them. James and I have gone through a journey, actually, we've not talked about for many years, but we went on a journey to try and make something that could go on a desk that would exhibit a pocket watch beautifully. Something design-wise, maybe a leather pouch that stood up, or a stand.
Transport case that could, kind of like this, that would fold in on itself.
Yes.
So then it can become a display.
Yeah, I love that.
Because we discussed, it was during COVID, like that, it really evolved, and we got to,
Did
got to the end.
Really got
Something.
patent this idea, or is someone going to?
If somebody steals it. Yeah. No. There is something. There's a drawing that I took a photo of, so if it exists.
Oh, there you go.
But, yeah, that means absolutely nothing whatsoever.
Thing.
But the comment and the feedback would be welcome, actually, to know if there's anything out there currently that's cool for a desk, to make these things, even more interactive on a daily basis.
Actually use it. Because during COVID, it was a transition. I think it was mainly these two that I was using as a desk clock.
Yeah.
And
timekeeping accuracy is fairly robust.
They're okay. They definitely lose time during the day, in most cases. But then again, it's tactile. You want to pick it up.
The size of this movement,
Start the day.
Not that I'm a watchmaker by any stretch of the imagination, but the size of this caliber should mean
It is.
greater accuracy.
Yeah.
But not necessarily. This is my pick. This
That
is
is
my
the pick. That's your
Look at
one.
the audacity and the elegance of this. If you were a gentleman in 1940
Yeah.
or 1950, that and the two-tone, the fact you've got a pink
Pink, gold, white.
central case, right?
Yeah.
and white gold. You've got
Yep.
more heft on it, and as you say, the engraving
Engraving on
is
the back.
just. I love engraving on
Slightly smaller.
that. Is so gorgeous. Do you know anything about this guy?
I haven't investigated.
To
Not-
W.H.
1956,
Ryan,
I think.
with esteemed and affection, from Board of Directors, Kimberly Clark Corporation, July the 16th, 1937.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And it looks like it
It's
was
like
made
brand new.
yesterday.
I know.
Oh, God. Numbers wise, we're talking significant.
That was more. So the Movados are from Japan.
2.5.
No, more.
50.
Definitely more.
I don't know. I'm very. Imagine turning that into
Yeah.
a watch.
You can.
Yeah, you
can,
can.
and but it's
You should.
they're very big, and it doesn't look that cool. It definitely doesn't look that cool.
That is a strikingly beautiful object. Yes, just no two ways about that. Yeah.
And the Japan market seems to be, again, they look after they know what they've got and they treasure them completely. So
Is there a single dealer that people should look for in Japan that you bought this from?
no, they were from different dealers. You've got your standard ones like Private Eyes, that seem to
Pretty sure I came across that on OnlyFans, but that's a really different story.
That's for another topic.
Private Eyes.
Session.
Sorry.
So you have,
Japan.
you have your classic. The best thing about Japan is that you'll begin the train station and there'll just be a completely small shop that you'll go in and you have absolutely no idea what you're about to uncover. But that was very fun.
Maybe our next trip has to be a Tokyo.
I think we should do definitely a Tokyo trip.
I'd love
It should be on the card.
Dangerous. Okay. Tim Boy, would you like to come to the confession table with anything else? You've got something that you would like to discuss, I think, in
Yeah.
what could be mistaken.
So I'm, as I said earlier, I'm very early on. I'm just experimenting a little bit. This was a sort of knee-jerk pickup. I wasn't planning on it. And so was this Seiko, which is more of a necklace and a pocket watch, but I kind of like the Gilbert, whichever way around it is, nature. of it.
Jabel.
Yeah, it's just good. It's conviction. It's just ideal. Anyway, it's
Tech-like, right? Tech-like. And sorry.
Should be wearing.
Seiko.
Yeah, Seiko. I've got a number of collections of things that I never wear, and I've got a vintage Seiko collection that I've never told anyone about.
You've got another one. You've got a shitter cupboard as well, haven't you? Full of shitters. Oh,
Sebron. I've got multiple.
20 to 30 shitters.
Probably
they'll be
shouldn't
out.
be saying the S word so much on this, but anyway. So what I like about pocket watches is I gravitate towards the more contemporary stuff. A couple of years ago, Hublot did that sort of teardrop
Kidney,
one.
like a kidney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've just been fascinated by it. I'd never pay £90,000 for it, but I love that it's like this sort of modern take on pocket watches, which definitely was not designed to go with a waistcoat, and was probably more in line with the other sort of stuff that we're wearing now, a little bit more modern. And so I've been thinking about picking up something that's a little bit more reminiscent of that. I know in the 80s, pocket watches went through a bit of a boom, and I've heard that that's largely to do with this sort of the parallel with people wearing three-piece suits again. And so the three-piece suits were in, and waistcoats and pocket watches followed. In that time, you've got people like Audemars Piguet, who did some incredible pocket watches. We had one in at Subdial recently, a skeletonized thing, and it was just absolutely objectively stunning and so overlooked. And if that was a Royal Oak, it would be £100,000, but it was 15, and I don't really understand it, but I would absolutely rock that instead of a wristwatch. I don't know if I would wear it with a wristwatch. I like the idea of flying solo without a wristwatch and just having a pocket watch, which made me start thinking about other alternatives that are slightly more affordable and that I could experiment with. And this is an Anoma, which is a wristwatch. It's not a pocket watch at all. But I know Matteo that designed this watch thought of this sort of pebble-like, I guess it's kind of tactile, kind of
So
Organic,
yeah, sort of thing. And I like the idea that is something that you could, I might turn into a pocket watch, cap that off, speak to a watchmaker, and where there's a spring bar, just put something over there and then hang it from a chain, and then have that as sort of a pebble-like object to carry around. Obviously, the elephant in the room is that this is an automatic movement, so I'd have to give it a good few winds to keep it going, or shake it every now and then, do the Seiko shuffle. But I really like that. And I've said to Matteo that I think he should do a pocket watch round of these because I'd love it. Certainly, I'm probably one in very few people that would.
I'm in.
But yeah, you can, right?
I'm in.
I just think there is a gap for modern pocket watches, and this as a shape is just so beautiful. It's really cool.
It's interesting to touch on brands that are actually making pocket watches today, because I think Patek is making pocket watches still. Vacheron, obviously.
Oh, they are, yeah.
Watches now.
I don't think anyone buys
Hublot.
you know,
They're sort of used as a base for the métier d'art stuff, you know, the enameling and creative stuff. Anyone who's got one of those will appreciate the tactility of it, I think, because it's beautiful.
I mean, it's very pebble-like, and you know, in the same way you like, you know, a good stone. I don't know. My kids collect stones from the beach, and I'm a bit like that. You know, there's something about it.
Would you not wear a wristwatch, knowing that you've got that in, because people know that you wear watches, and they'd ask you, "Why aren't you wearing a watch?" And then you could show. Like, is that, or is it just a case of just having it?
I don't know whether No, I mean, there's something about being in London and not wearing a wristwatch for me, because I'm known for watches, and you know, if people do recognise me, because I've had a couple of YouTube things with him, and now I feel like a target. But the idea of not wearing a wristwatch is actually quite
nice.
A weight off my shoulders. And so having a pocket watch is a nice sort of sazal flex, even though I've just told everyone that I might start doing that. But
It's the new trend, and
I like it.
everybody's wearing pocket watches instead.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think there could be something there. I really do feel like there is, in the same way that in the 80s there was this wave of people that went back to pocket watches. I feel like we're due another wave, and you can see why. You look at these that are 2, 3, however much they were, £1,000. There's so much value there.
Crazy value.
They're so cool, and some of them are really quite contemporary looking. They don't look like, you know, those yellow gold old enamel dial things
Chesky ones.
that just don't go with anything that we wear in the modern era.
Yeah.
In my mind, some people might disagree, but these sorts of white metal ones, particularly, I think are very relevant.
Completely agree.
They say you should never go back. Once you've broken up with someone, they say you should never go back.
We've all done it.
We've done it.
What am I talking about?
And I have gone back to a watch that I think it was more the experience, really, of handling it that sold me on it. Probably 8, 9 years ago in Bonhams, London, they were selling one of these, and I remember in the you know, in the exhibition leading up to the auction, I picked it up, and I just couldn't quite fathom how light it was.
It is actually crazy.
I don't know
Every
the exact.
time.
I should have done my research, and I haven't. Christopher Ward, do your research. The tagline. Christopher Ward. I have not done my research. Now, I think it's about 16 grams. I might be wrong. Something like that.
Oh, it shouldn't be.
Or 27. 27.
I've
27.
got a 7 in my head.
27. Maybe 27 grams.
Maybe.
I think it's 27 grams, actually. Sorry, 16, because I think an RM that I try on the day is 26. Either way, it's under 30 grams. It's all aluminium. So the case, the markers, the hands, the base plates of the movement. So the whole thing is aluminium. It's from Vacheron. It is known affectionately as the aluminium. Whether that's official or not, I'm not sure.
It's mineral glass.
Yeah. I didn't buy it at that point because I just didn't have the money. And then many years later, I think 2020, Paris Bonhams had one for sale. Weirdly, Christian Salmoni at Vacheron actually had helped me look at one or two on Chrono before this, because they are sort of an iconic, they are a bit of an icon, really, and using that term lightly, the crispiness of that winding. Because of the aluminium case, it's got a louder echo, which was interesting. Weirdly, there were a couple of watches that Christian we looked at together where the case wasn't right. The case had been changed, and there are a few out there that aren't right. So be careful, because I think the misconception might be that all pocket watches are right, but actually hands are quickly changed. Of course, crowns are quickly changed. Sometimes cases are. Anyway, this came up at Paris, and it sold for 3,000. I was all in for sort of 3,500. I was so excited to get it. Absolutely loved it. Enjoyed it on my desk for many, many years. And I remember doing a story on Watch Pro, actually, my 10 objects, my 10 grail watches, and this made it into that top 10 list. And then probably, Tim, in a deal that we were doing at some point, buying something, I was like, geez, I've got to get rid of this.
I can't believe it went.
Got to get rid of it, yeah. And you know what? This is part of
everything we talked about.
This is part of the collecting journey that's amazing. And we've seen that this is part of the journey, which is so cool, is that, yes, a friend of ours who's not here today to defend himself, he loved the pocket watch, and he bought it from me for basically the money I paid for it. Now, the challenge came, of course, about 6 months ago when he was like, I'd like to buy something from you. And so I was like, okay, this might be my opportunity to buy that pocket watch bag.
Okay.
But the question was what the price was going to be. I said, look, I think you deserve a little bit on it because there has been some auction results that have, have set a precedent. I think Monaco Legend, there was one that was 16 plus. As you said earlier, Jay, that was a full set. They came in these really bizarre boxes, like sort of
Like a stand that opens.
that opens.
Yeah.
This is watch only.
Gave him 16.
So I said, I'll give you
15,999.
I said, I'll give you two grand more, right? So let's come in at 5. I think 5's fair.
Right, not 2.
Anyway, we settled at 6. So I'm basically doubled in, right? So I'm now doubling in on this. But I'm so pleased I did. I wore this the other day to Bonhams again in London. And Jonathan Darracott, the head of watches at Bonhams, he's like, we were on stage recording a thing for London Watch Week, and he was like, oh, Alexander Alconi. Oh. He is the family owner of the aluminium mining company that commissioned it. That actually commissioned it. So
did they engrave every single?
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. So I think the one that sold at Monaco, I might be wrong, Legend Group was clean. Not many were.
Definitely wasn't cleaned off at a later date.
I'm not sure. Can't comment on that. But all I know is that this is from the owner's family that commissioned it. So this says Alexander Alconi. Like if you get the loop in it, like we've got a loop here actually. It's just amazing to see the chiseling, like the literally the handwork that's gone in.
Oh yeah, you see the sort of undulation.
It's just like really quite amazing.
Yeah.
And it's 1928 to 1953, which is cool because my mum was born 1953. And then you've got Boxis du Midi, which actually I don't know what that means, but have a quick look at that. Just I don't know what that means, but I did ask a friend who's a French speaker. I forgot that. But
so you've got a deal. That's what you've said.
So now I'm thinking 16 plus. I don't know. I honestly think when it comes to objects, it is the most remarkable thing. Much like this is the precursor to the Portuguese that we saw commissioned. The 1921 that I've got, that is the same sense of grandeur, although these are applied numerals, not painted like on my 21. They're very similar. So if you turn this to the side, you can really see a 1921 dial. So I almost feel like they're meant to be together.
I don't think you said this is from 1928. Yeah, which is like
literally the era. So
same exactly.
Look at the sizing of the logo. I mean, I've got another friend who's not here, Juan, who's very, very conscious of the details like we are of these things. And he talks about vintage logos just being so much more elegant because there was so much more space. So much smaller. Like they were so much smaller on the dial. They're just literally painted like they're just beautifully. Like even I mean every one of these. Look at how small the scroll is on that. Yeah. Look at the Vacheron on that dial is so beautifully simple. It is a different logo to the one they use now, but nonetheless, I just think the detailing is incredible. Even the hands, these sort of almost like Carré Voutilainen, like Observatoire. You know, Urban Jurgensen style Observatoire hand. It's all there.
So this is a permanent piece in the collection now. Is that what you're saying?
I think it would be embarrassing now to sell again. And then have to buy back at double again. So if I was to go back and I've been near 10 grand. I've been embarrassed. I've always been personally embarrassed. But all I'll tell you is that I look at that as an object, and I think if there is anything worth kind of keeping for the generation and handing on, irrelevant of its utility, I'm agnostic to the utility of these things now. I'm just like, you know what, it is what it is. It's just absolutely stunning. And I love the sound because it's so bloody loud. It's so loud.
Yeah, I love it.
It literally sits there and I can hear it ticking from a mile off. So
I once had mine by my bedside and my wife
kept you up.
Yeah.
But I'm asleep through a hurricane. But
they are so annoying.
Get elbowed when you're snoring. I get an elbow and then I get one in the groin first time I'm snoring.
Yeah.
That keeps me up.
Oh yeah.
Just to conclude, boys, so the future of pockets, just to each one of you, the future of pockets and where you might go if you're interested in actually looking to buy one of these, like if you want to get one and what to look for, maybe just 3 little kickers, Jay. So where are we?
To start, you can go back to eBay now. I think they've got a lot more security over what they're actually available to sell there. And you could probably get one for a lot cheaper just to start with, just to express and find out.
Less than 500 quid?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
250 quid?
And if you're interested in movements, that's the other bit we've not really explored because they're so cheap. You can take them apart. You have much larger pieces than in a normal wristwatch. So I have got a cheap one and taken it apart just because I'm interested in how it functions. But definitely start there. Same with watches. Buy the quality dial. If you can get the best dial out there, 100% get that because that is never going to change. And then just there are so many different expressions. There's different bows, there's different case materials, there's different designs, applied indices, there's printing. You go down a completely another world Like you've got your watches now. Honestly, try pocket watches, and you'll lose days. I've lost weeks.
Who should we follow online, and where would you be? You know, where would you guide?
So Prague Vintage Watches. I went and met him out in Prague. Milos he's got a fantastic collection. Balthazar has also got a crazy pocket watch collection. I think Mr. A's probably got a few stuff stashed away that he's not shown to the world yet, but he's got a fantastic. I think he's got the Rolex with the black dial and similar markers to that Movado, actually, just circular gold, and the contrast is just what a watch. But those are the three.
Did I ever show my Rolex, my Asprey signed Rolex?
Yes.
The sector dial one that I sold to a friend. I know where that is as well. I know where that is. So I'm gonna I'm gonna hunt him down. Bruce, if you're watching, I'm coming for you. Weirdly, no, he does wear that watch all the time.
Yeah.
Just suddenly he does. Very elegant.
I will.
60s.
There we go. I'll start wearing more.
Okay, all right, Joe. Thank you, boy. Is there anything else on your radar? Is there one out there, just as a grail?
There is one grail. There is one grail. He knows where it is.
People?
Well, no, because I always watch it.
He is never going to sell this pocket watch. Guaranteed.
You say that to
Eddie, you're in Singapore, and like, if you're watching this, one day maybe.
What is it?
But I went out there.
Tell us, because
It's an IWC. It's a similar sector dial, but in this case, and it is
black dial.
No. This exactly the same as this dial,
hand?
but in this case, sword hands. I think it's got blued sword hands, and it's like a triple sector. I will show you, and it's
with a stepped case.
With the step case, and it's just perfection. And when I went over to Singapore, I was there I met up with Eddie. We went out. He was complaining about the humidity because getting into his pocket watches, but yeah,
It was say your good luck charm next time.
Yeah, I know, and I have to thank him actually. He made these for his pocket watches, and he gifted me a few because there was nothing at the time that I was using. So thank you very much, Eddie, for that. But I constantly, it's an annual thing. There's an annual in my calendar.
Check in, Eddie. Check in with him.
Check him in, and he always just like. Nah.
Is there any way we can financially ruin him? Because that's always a good way to pushing someone to sell stuff from experience.
You've been there. When there's not even a number, it's just never going to happen. It's
really
going to happen.
Because we did this with Emily Marsden literally a year ago to the day, where she asked for the white ceramic Da Vinci. And someone came out the woodwork.
They actually came out.
Telling guy, this true story, emailed me out the blue and said, I think there's one for sale in
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. So we went to Amsterdam and collected it. So you never know, there might be another one of those. And you guys
might be
having.
If you've got a sector dial IWC pocket watch, then drop me a note.
Tim, will we ever see Subdial selling more? Do you think? Are you guys getting more inquiries? Do you think that's something that?
While we're understanding the market, I think we're likely to consign those sorts of things, just because I don't really understand the market anywhere near as much as I do watches. But once we've got a taste for it, I can absolutely see us stocking these things because they're beautiful. And I actually love the idea that you'll start seeing more leather goods. What do you call it?
Engage Jane.
The fob. You know, some sort of modern take, because I really struggled to find something interesting for my JLC one.
Singapore Watch Club. Tom has designed something that hangs from like a case, so your travel case, and it hangs off, and it's a lot shorter, so it kind of just like a tag on it, and it's
a little bit zez, isn't it?
It's very nice.
A bit like those ugly monsters, you know, that viral thing right now of those ugly dolls that hang off. Have you seen those?
No,
not right. That's just I missed that. Oh, don't worry about that one.
Is there something out there you would? You sent me a photo of an AP, a skeletonized AP. But is there something out there right now you would jump at? Is there a Tuscan dial out there? Or?
Octagonal, ideally perpetual calendar, ideally skeletonized AP pocket watch. I would.
How much are we talking?
Yeah,
lots.
They're probably six figures. Yeah, which is a shame. But you know, I've done silly things like that before.
Do you know what? Now I'm thinking about it. I genuinely hadn't thought about this until now. I fell really hard for a Patek pocket watch at auction about 3 years ago in Geneva, but it had an Anita Porcher enamel on the back of a springbuck. There was a springbuck.
Oh, you just sent it to me. It was a white background.
Yeah, white background. So the dial completely and utterly like basic Patek and modern, relatively modern. I think like 80s, and then that Anita Porcher enameling on the back. That, to me, that is peak class.
And those are the ones you see, I suppose, collectability with Patek.
Yes.
Oh, so
Patek lips pocket watch.
Yes.
That's what, if you see one of those, good lord.
Yeah.
I've never seen one of those.
Yeah.
Never seen one.
Oh, they're there.
Do you have the same emotion when you see these as a watch?
Increasingly so. But it satisfies a part of my brain that wants shiny objects, but they're not necessarily things that I automatically go to wear. Like a watch I have to put on every day. I love them. You know, I get an enormous sense of satisfaction choosing which watch to wear and all of that. I don't quite have, well, I've got 3 sort of pseudo pocket watches, but if I had your collection, I would really enjoy that choice in the morning, you know. I really would. So yeah, anyway,
One for every day.
watch this space, but I'm definitely in the market.
Brilliant. Boys, thank you very much. Thanks, Shane. Thanks, Terry.
Thanks.
Guys, leave us your comments as always. We're very, very excited to read them all, and we will respond to each and every one. Until next time, goodbye.
Bye.